Well, you know what? My picks last week weren't too bad. They weren't too bad at all. I was 10-6 picking head up, 10-6 against the spread for week 2. So overall, after 2 weeks, I'm standing at 19-13 picking the winner straight up, 20-12 against the spread. So adequate start to the year, but looking to do better, looking to do a lot better, and hoping it comes this week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to check out my 2021 NFL Week 3 picks video. As always, you're welcome to go against me, provide your picks, whether you just want to pick the team straight up or you want to try and pick against the spread. You go ahead and do all of that. I can say, as of this recording, for the 3rd straight week, I picked successfully for the Thursday night matchup, which wasn't particularly hard, although it was looking a little hairy there for a little bit. But Carolina ended up covering the 8-point spread, so off to another good start this week. Now, some intriguing matchups in the Week 3 slate of games. Let's go ahead and dive right in. The early games on Sunday, you start off with Washington traveling to Buffalo to take on Josh Allen and the Bills. The Bills rebounded in a big way last week, smashing the mostly Tua-less Miami Dolphins 35-0. Meanwhile, Washington had to battle and scrap and claw against their divisional rival, the Giants, but they ended up winning on Thursday Night Football. So there they sit at 1-1, and now they've got a new young guy taking over for the injured Fitzmagic, and that's going to be Taylor Heineke making his first start of the year. So a different dynamic there for Washington. Buffalo being a 7.5-point favorite is maybe a bit of a surprise, maybe not. But you look at Washington, like the way they're structured, you would think that their defense would travel well here, but their defense did not play very well at all in the Thursday night game against the Giants. So I do like Buffalo minus the 7.5. You've got Justin Fields making his first career NFL start, which certainly drives up the interest here in this Bears versus Browns matchup on Sunday. It's Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield. We got us a battle, boys. Do we really? Strength versus strength. Bears' run defense, which is actually pretty good. It's not their secondary. That's a different conversation. But their run defense is pretty good against that elite rushing attack of the Cleveland Browns. Strength versus strength. Is Baker going to be able to avoid a big boner this week? Yeah, you know what? We'll go with that verbiage. You know, especially without Jarvis Landry, but maybe you get Odell Beckham Jr. back into the fold. Meanwhile, for the Bears, Justin Fields brings different elements and different dynamics to that offense that they just don't have when they have Andy Dalton behind center. And they should have had Justin Fields starting from day one, but Matt Nagy is a goddamn numbskull. That said, though, while this is a little bit of a dangerous spot for the Browns because the matchup may not be the best, I'll still take them to cover the 7-point spread. You've got the Ravens coming off of that emotional, win on Sunday night against the Chiefs. They finally got over that hump here. Then they now go on the road to Detroit to take on a winless Lions team. And these are the types of games that you worry about. These are those trap games where you say, okay, Baltimore's only 1-1. But that Chiefs win hits differently. That Chiefs win represents something pretty big, significant, and important for this Ravens organization. Whereas for the Chiefs right now, it's just like, it was a loss against a good team. We'll see if we see him again, and we'll see if the story's any different. But right now, that was an emotional win, a big key signature win for Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh, and this Baltimore Ravens team. Now going on the road to face a winless team, these are dangerous games. These are the types of games that you see teams like the Ravens lose. So I was slightly surprised they were 8-point favorites here, that so much money was moving on Baltimore, because it's those trap games that sometimes should worry you. I do like Baltimore to win here, but I would like to think that Dan Campbell's crew is going to cover the 8-point spread. And, who knows? Maybe they could do more than that. You've got the Colts traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Will Carson Wentz be there with his 2 sprained ankles? Is it going to be Jacob Eason or Brett Hundley taking the snaps? I'm not even sure at this point. I don't even know if it matters. I'll take Tennessee minus the 5. My early season thoughts about the Colts is that they would start off pretty rough, and then maybe they rebound the second half of the year. Certainly that looks like that's going to play out, especially the part about struggling the first half of the year. The rebounding and going on a run in the second half of the year, I wouldn't be so confident about that just yet. The Chargers travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. An exciting matchup here. Justin Herbert versus Patrick Mahomes. Two guys that are going to be, featured players of the NFL for the next 10, 12, 15 years. How exciting for AFC West fans to be able to see this matchup twice a year. Last year, the Chargers played the Chiefs pretty tough, especially when you look at the first time around with Justin Herbert in his first start with no notice, no real preparation, and they took the Chiefs to overtime. The Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites here. I like the Chiefs to win, but I do like the Chargers to cover the 6.5-point spread. Next, you've got the New Orleans Saints traveling New England to take on the Patriots. And what the hell are you supposed to make out of this New Orleans Saints team? Week 1, they looked like world beaters. They smashed and destroyed and graded the Packers all over the place. Week 2, they kind of got smashed by the Carolina Panthers. Now they got to go on the road to face the Patriots. I'll take the Patriots here minus the 3. Oh, this game's going to be ugly. Or maybe it'll be like train wreck awesome. I don't know. But the 0-2 Atlanta Falcons, who have looked every bit of 0-2, they've been shit so far. Oh, that Arthur Smith hire sure panned out. Traveling to New York to take on the hapless, winless New York Giants. Week 2, at least it was a competitive game, but they still found a way to lose it. The Giants are favored by 3 here. I'm either putting the Jeff Jinx on the Falcons, which is fine by me. I like fucking with Falcons fans sometimes for some reason. But otherwise, I just say, am I going to bet on Danny Dimes or am I going to bet on Matt Ryan? I'll bet on Matt Ryan to rebound and have a big game here in Week 3. So give me the Falcons to win plus the 3. Bengals travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I will take Pittsburgh minus the 3. Arizona traveling to Jacksonville to take on the winless, hapless Jags. Arizona got a scare in them in Week 2 from Minnesota before Minnesota went wide right. And it is good. No, we missed it. Paul Allen. I'll take the Cardinals minus the 7.5. It's been a rough start. As much as everyone wants to talk about the rough start of the season for Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence hasn't exactly lit the world on fire either, let's be clear. Speaking of Zach Wilson, you transition to those late Sunday afternoon games. You got the Jets traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Good luck with that, Zach. I'm confident he'll play better in Week 3, but, ooh, my God. This is another really tough matchup for him. Carolina's young defense is pretty good. You saw that in Week 1. Week 2, going up against a Belichick coach team that traditionally has always given rookie quarterbacks fits for the most part. Zach Wilson just being another notable example of that. Now you take on a Broncos team that the first 2 weeks, they played the Giants and the Jags, and those are 2 shitty teams with less than stellar quarterback play right now. But the reality is this Broncos team has a really good defense and could give the Jets some problems. 10-point spread, understand every bit of it. I do like the Broncos to win, but I do like the Jets backdoor cover plus the 10. Miami travels to Vegas to take on the Raiders. I'm smashing the Raiders minus the 4 here. They deserve a little respect from me. I've picked them. I've picked them to cover the spread the first 2 weeks, and they've done so. So I'll take the Raiders minus the 4. As if you're going to have Brissett, I don't have a ton of confidence in the Miami offensive line to protect their quarterback no matter who's back there. The big marquee matchup is Tampa traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. It's Brady versus Stafford, Bucks versus Rams. People looking at this potentially as a NFC Championship game preview, and it certainly could be. Interesting that Tampa's a 1.5 favorite here since they're the road team. That means there's no respect paid to the Rams as a home team, which totally makes sense here. That said, as I look at this game hopefully will be a lot of fun. I think it can be. I like the Rams in this spot. So give me the Rams plus the 1.5. And then you've got Seattle traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. How do the Vikings figure out a way to lose this game this go around? Give me Seattle minus the 1.5. Sunday night, you've got the Green Bay Packers traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Their defense played pretty well against the Eagles in Week 2, that's for sure. Their offense, not so much. The Packers came to life as the game went along against Detroit on Monday night, but short week. Now you got to go to the West Coast. Could be a tough spot for them. But I actually like Green Bay to win plus the 3.5 here. They found something on Monday night. They got some rhythm and flow and some energy going on offense, and I expect that to carry over here. And then the Monday night matchup, because it just wouldn't be a week in the NFL if you didn't have the fucking Cowboys forced into some primetime marquee game spot. But intriguing matchup, Jalen Hurts taking on Dak Prescott, 2 1-1 teams. Some early season stakes here in the NFC least. I like the Cowboys minus the 4. Like Dak to come out and ball out and show out pretty well in prime time. So those are my picks. Sounded like Steiner now. My peaks and my freaks. Give me that fucking mic. I'm sorry, I'm just having random Scott Steiner moments. You got a problem with that? So I thought. Anyways, those are my picks for week 3. You can check them all out in the description box below. We'll see how we do this weekend. And good luck to those of you in your office pools or whatever the hell. Hope you win some money. Maybe I can help you with that, huh?